Morning, dreamers. This is Wedding Thanks Part 2, Take 2, because my computer just glitched. I just said some beautiful things too, and I can't because there's no editing. Anyway, today is about thanking my mom and my dad and the amazing people that they are. They have been emotional support and they have also been financial support. They have Mom bought my dress for me. It's just beautiful. She came with me to pick it out and to fit it. Um, it was a lot of fun. And then they're also taking care of the rehearsal dinner, which is a huge chunk of change. And they are on fixed income and they're still willing to sacrifice on our behalf. But the biggest thing that they have been is the emotional support. They're reminding me that echoes of the past don't get to speak, they get to fade into the past. Um, One of the greatest supports they've been is just loving the fact that they have a new son-in-law, and they're happy with that, and they like him, and they welcomed him. Um, I was trying to tell you a story about two things that happened with my mom. One was she said, "What does he think of the kids?" And I said, "He doesn't understand them, but he certainly adores them." And she said, "Good, you can't have that tension in your home." Like, she knows my kids need to be affirmed and loved and given a safe place to live. And if you bring the wrong person into that mix, it's detrimental for all of us, all four. Um, and the other thing was early on when I was going through all the gifts that he was bringing home from the road, because yes, his love language is to give gifts. Um, he was giving me all these things, and so I was showing my mom and telling my mom, and then she kept saying, and I thought she wanted information about him, so where he was from and who he grew up with and what he did after high school, and so I kept giving information, and she's like, and it took me far too long to realize she didn't want to know about Carl. She wanted to know about me, and she wasn't going to say that. She just needed me to come to it on my own. And I said, "Oh, and with him I feel safe." And she knew at that moment that he's the one for me, because safety was something really, really important that I had not had. And so she knew, and she has prayed the entire way. She's watched the saga of online dating, and she's listened, and she's rolled her eyes, and she has, "Oh, Marilyn, be careful." And so she should. She's my mom, right? Like, that's her job. And she has been with me the whole way through. So, and dad has been too. And he would bring coffee, and he would just encourage and just say, "I love you." And remind me that I have enough. I have enough. And if God ever provided a new spouse for me, it was way over and above what I need. And I got into the habit of saying, "I don't need you. I want you, but I don't need you." Well, Carl, I need him. Let's just put it plainly. The I want versus I need quickly moved over to I need. Like, this is somebody who I literally have been waiting for. And it's a pretty special guy. And I'm sorry for getting gushy, but that's just the way it is. And this is, after all, Wedding Thanks Part 2. So Mom and Dad, the other two I need to thank right up front are Hannah and Jimmy. My goodness, they have literally been with me holding my phone, swiping left, going, "Ew, no, ew, no. Oh, yeah, okay, we can like him. No, we're not liking Mom." Right? And they have been the ones that have met some of them at the park as we go to the park, because whoever I was going to end up with needed to know my children very rapidly into the situation. Not every family is like mine, and I would not suggest that for every family, but having a rainbow family and having two teenagers, they need to know pretty quickly what mom's getting into, because they're not out of the house teenagers. So whoever I'm bringing into this family needs to be able to connect with them properly, because he's going to be in the home and he's going to be adjusting things with us and for us, and they need to be okay with that. And even though right at this moment, both of them are a little overwhelmed because there's a lot of stuff happening all at once, from haircuts to new jobs to furniture moving around to, everything's happening at once. So there's a little bit of being overwhelmed, but they have been so supportive through it all, through all of it. And so, yeah, Hannah is my maid of honor. Jimmy is my best man. And I adore them both, and I couldn't have done it without them. And any man that made me pick them versus him is by the wayside. He's gone. The last one for today that I need to say thank you to is my new Maw&Paw, Connie and Jack Denahauer. They have just loved the three of us. We have not met in person, but we have had some Zoom meetings, and we've had some letter and email correspondence. And at every turn, they have welcomed me into the home, into the family, and they have adored Hannah and Jimmy from day one. Jack is so great because with Jimmy, he calls him Jim because when he grew up, people would call him Jackie and Jackie and Jackie. And he got to a point in his teenage years where he was being infantilized when he's being called Jackie. So he hears a 15-year-old boy named Jimmy, and instantly he's like, I will not infantilize him. I will honor him. I will respect him. His name is Jim. And I love it. Just love it. Jimmy was looking forward to sitting with Papa Jack at the rehearsal dinner, but it is not to be because they are too sick to be able to come to the wedding. So we're spending some of our wedding trip with them in their space, and I really, really look forward to that. And it's interesting because my last email to Jack and Connie was, it's hard to say just how much I miss you when I've never actually met you in person yet, but I miss you. And I do. They're amazing people. They've obviously done an amazing job with their sons. And yeah, life throws some curveballs, doesn't it? But this one over here named Carl that I'm going to walk down an aisle to, he's a pretty awesome guy. And I'm thankful for them with their steadfastness and their prayer for us as well. Anyway, that's it for Wedding Thanks Part 2. Tune in next time, because you never know who could make it on the list. I could go on forever, literally forever, with this series. But anyway, know that I love you.